Good afternoon. So I've been very blessed in my life because I've been able to travel. I think when you join the Salesians, you see the world, you know? And so I was able to go to 2 World Youth Days. They say that, St. John Paul II started these World Youth Days, and we see that millions gathered in these World Youth Days. For example, I believe it was in 1990, in the 90s, I can't remember what year. I'm getting older, huh? And so, but they used to call, when John Paul II, his World Youth Day in the Philippines, they called it Thriller in Manila because they start counting after 5 million. 5 million young people gathered together in that World Youth Day. So I was able to go to the World Youth Day in Spain in 2011. I went with a group of young people, and I was able to go to my first World Youth Day, and I was 17 years old. And it was in 1997. And I remember I was there. I wasn't understanding everything. I was 17 years old, and I was being blessed to be able to be there. And so we were there, and St. John Paul II, on that day when I was there in our first Mass with the Holy Father, he canonized St. Thérèse. So she was canonized in 1997, and I was there. So I have a little special love for St. Thérèse, right? And so she is beautiful. She's amazing. We know that she was born in France. Both her parents are saints. And so we know that she had this desire for Jesus, but she really wanted to be in a convent, right? But she was too young. And look how much her desire was. And today in the gospel, it mentions Jesus is talking about, these 3 callings. Follow me. I got to go bury my parents. I got to go say goodbye to my family. You see, what Jesus is talking about is the priority of our commitment in following Jesus, being a disciple of Jesus, that it has to be number 1. And so she had this strong desire that she even went to see the Pope because they didn't let her. She was 15 years old. She really wanted to go to the Carmelite monastery, and so Pope Leo XIII granted her permission. So you see her strong desire to be a disciple of Jesus. She also wanted to be a missionary. She wanted to go out and proclaim the gospel. But she couldn't go. She was cloistered in France, there in that monastery. But I want to read to you, look her thoughts, what she thinks about, she only died when she was 24. That's young, and she became one of the doctors of the church. There's only been 4 women doctors. So if you ever go to Jeopardy, right, and you know where the 4 women doctors of the church, right, Catherine of Siena, yes, Saint Teresa of Avila, and obviously Saint Thérèse that we celebrate today, and Saint Hildegard, and so she was German. So there's 4, right? But listen to what she says. She says, charity gave me the key to my vocation. I understood that the church had a heart, that this heart was burning with love. I knew that one love drove the members of the church to action, that if this love were extinguished, the apostles would have proclaimed the gospel no longer. The martyrs would have shed their blood no more. I understood that love compromised all vocations, that love was everything, that it embraced at all times and places, in a word, that it was eternal. Then, in the excess of my delirious joy, I cried out, "Oh, Jesus, my love, my vocation. At last I have found it. My vocation is love." That's why she is the doctor of the church, doctor of divine love. You see, what made her a saint was only 6 words. And she said it very beautifully. She says, "It is love alone that counts. It is love alone that counts." That's what's going to matter at the end of the day in our judgment, our love of God and love of neighbor. And how beautiful. It's very interesting if you read her life. She had very difficulties with her sisters in community, and she had to practice charity a lot. I gotta tell you, I got 12 guys in my community. It's not easy, huh? And Brother Charles is right here sleeping, right? And he knows about it. He's 93 years old, right? And it's not easy. But that's the practice of every day of our charity and love that is gonna get us to heaven. God bless you.